Ever wondered how carbohydrates affect your health? Well, wonder no more because we're diving into the fascinating world of carbs today. You see, carbohydrates, or carbs as we often call them, are a bit misunderstood. They're like the misunderstood villain in a superhero movie. Sure, they're often painted as the bad guys in our diet, but that's just part of the picture. Why is it important to understand carbs, you ask? Well, they're one of the three main nutrients our bodies need to function properly. They're our body's primary source of energy. But here's the catch. Not all carbs are created equal. Some are like friendly neighbors, while others can be more like that annoying relative who always overstays their welcome. So, the big question, are carbs the villain they're often painted to be, or is there more to the story? Stay tuned to find out. We're just getting started on this carbohydrate conundrum. First, let's delve into the science behind carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, often referred to as carbs, are biological molecules made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. They're like the tiny building blocks of our meals, adding flavor, texture, and most importantly, energy to our plates. But what exactly happens when we chow down on our favorite carb-loaded snacks? Well, inside our bodies, carbohydrates have a very important job. They're the body's primary source of energy. Think of them as the fuel in your body's tank, powering everything from your morning jog to your afternoon brainstorm. When you consume carbohydrates, your body gets to work, breaking these complex molecules down into simpler sugars, such as glucose. This process begins in the mouth, where enzymes start to break down the carbohydrates. It's kind of like a demolition crew, but for food. The journey continues in the stomach and small intestine, where the demolition reaches a climax, and the carbohydrates are broken down into the simplest form of sugar glucose. This glucose then enters the bloodstream like tiny sugar soldiers marching off to war, and it's a war they're destined to win. The glucose is taken up by the cells in our bodies, where it's converted into energy. This energy is used to power everything we do, from the simplest tasks like blinking and breathing, to the more complex ones like running a marathon or solving a Sudoku puzzle. But the story of carbohydrates doesn't end there. Any glucose that isn't immediately needed is stored in the liver and muscles for later use. It's like a squirrel stashing away acorns for the winter. Only instead of acorns, it's glucose. And instead of winter, it's your next workout or brain-teasing challenge. So, these tiny molecules pack quite a punch, don't they? But how does this affect our health? Now, not all carbohydrates are created equal. Let's meet the good, the bad, and the starchy. Carbohydrates, like people, come in all shapes and sizes, and they're not all cut from the same dough. On one hand, we have simple carbohydrates, the quick and easy sugars. These guys are like the party animals of the carb world. They get into your bloodstream fast, spike your energy levels, and then leave you crashing. Think of candies, sodas, and anything else that gives you that quick sugar rush. On the other hand, we have complex carbohydrates. These are the long-term relationships of the carb world. They're slower to digest, provide sustained energy, and keep your blood sugar levels stable. Whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes are all part of this category. Now let's talk about something called the glycemic index, or GI for short. It's a ranking system for carbohydrates based on how quickly they raise blood sugar levels after eating. Foods with a high GI, like white bread or potatoes, are digested quickly and cause a rapid increase in blood sugar. On the contrary, foods with a low GI, like whole grains and most fruits, are digested slowly and cause a gradual rise in blood sugar. You're probably thinking, okay, so I'll just stick to low GI foods, right? Well, not quite. The GI doesn't consider how much you eat or the other foods you consume along with it. So, while it's a handy tool, it's not the be-all and end-all. Now let's get to the starchy part. Starchy foods like potatoes and pasta are high in carbohydrates, but don't be too quick to banish them from your plate. They're also a good source of energy and provide important nutrients like fiber and B vitamins. So what's the takeaway? Carbohydrates are a diverse group. Some can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and energy, while others provide a slow, steady release of energy. But remember this, it's not just about the type of carbohydrate but also the quantity and what you pair it with. Remember, not all carbs are villains. Some are superheroes in disguise. So, how exactly do these carbohydrates influence our health, you may ask? Well, let's take a trip down the carb-laden road to discover the truth. When we consume an excess of simple carbohydrates, it's like throwing a pile of kindling on a fire. It burns brightly but fizzles out quickly, leaving you feeling depleted and reaching for another quick energy fix. This roller coaster of energy spikes and crashes can lead to weight gain and even type 2 diabetes. It's like inviting a bear to a picnic. Sure, it's exciting at first, but then you're left with a big mess to clean up. Now, complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, are like the slow-burning logs on the fire. They provide a steady release of energy that keeps you fueled and satisfied for longer. They're packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals that contribute to a healthy heart, improved digestion, and an overall sense of well-being. It's like having a well-trained golden retriever at your picnic. They're there for the long haul, they're reliable, and they won't steal your sandwiches. But you know what they say, you can't live on bread alone, or pasta, or potatoes for that matter. Even though complex carbs are the good guys in this story, it's crucial to balance them with proteins, healthy fats, and a rainbow of fruits and vegetables. It's not about banishing one food group in favor of another. It's more like creating a harmonious food symphony where each player has a part to play. So what's the takeaway here? Don't fear the carbs. They're not the villains they're often made out to be. Just remember to choose the right kinds of carbs, the complex ones, and balance them with other healthy food options. Think of it as a dance. You wouldn't want to dance with just one partner all night, would you? Variety is the spice of life, and your diet should be no different. In the end, it's all about balance, isn't it? To wrap it up, let's summarize what we've learned about carbohydrates and their impact on our health. Carbohydrates, often seen as the bad guys in our diets, are actually crucial for our bodies to function correctly. They give us the energy we need to tackle the day and support our brain function. We've also discovered that not all carbs are created equal. Simple sugars found in sweets and sodas can cause spikes in blood sugar levels and contribute to weight gain. On the other hand, complex carbohydrates found in whole grains, fruits, and vegetables provide steady energy and essential nutrients. The key, as with most things in life, is balance. An informed decision about what we eat can make a world of difference to our health. So, don't be afraid of carbs. Instead, choose wisely and make them work for you. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. So next time you're debating between a donut and a whole grain sandwich, think about what you've learned today. Stay healthy, folks. Before we wrap up, here's a little food for thought. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've navigated the dense jungle of the carbohydrate conundrum, plunged into the deep seas of sugar science, and treaded the tricky terrain of the good, the bad, and the starchy. But most importantly, we've explored the profound influence of carbohydrates on our health. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts. Whether you're a potato enthusiast, a pasta aficionado, or a rice devotee, we'd love to hear your experiences and insights about carbs and health. Have you noticed an impact on your well-being when you tweak your carb intake? Do you have a favorite recipe that's both delicious and carb-conscious? Or perhaps you've got a burning question about carbs that we haven't yet addressed? The comment section is your stage, so take the mic and let your voice be heard. If you found this journey informative, enlightening, or just plain entertaining, why not subscribe to our channel? We promise to deliver more health-related content that's as engaging as it is educational. And let's face it, who doesn't want to be the smartest person at the dinner table? While you're here, you might want to check out a few of our related videos. If you're keen to delve deeper into the world of nutrition, our Protein Powerhouse video is a must-watch. And for those of you with a sweet tooth, don't miss our Sugar Friend or Foe feature. We've also got a great piece on fats, the unsung heroes of health, that will definitely give you some food for thought. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep the carbs in check and your health in balance.